welcome to the International Overwatch League Minors. I am your host, Queenie, and I have my wonderful co-host, Chaos, with me. Hello, Chaos. How are you tonight?
Very good. Glad to be back after I've been gone for about 3, 4 weeks. So it's good to be back casting with you again.
Most definitely. And tonight we have a super exciting game for you. Season 5, Week 5, Tier 3, Gothic Serpents versus Neso. I am super excited about this. I haven't had a real chance to really get into a whole lot of Tier 3 games, but we do know that Gothic Serpents are coming at 0 and 4 so far in the season, and Neso is 2 and 2. So this could either be a game to get back on the board out of Serpents or a 3-2 win for Neso.
This win will actually, if Neso actually comes out on top tonight, this will actually push them into first place temporarily, even though Spud Life, who is currently in first place with a 4-0 record, with 11 points, this will push them just briefly ahead by a 2 point lead.
Is that the map lead?
But yeah, the map lead by points, yeah. Spud Life has 11, Neso has 10. So if they come out on top tonight, they'll be in the lead briefly by 2.
Ooh, exciting, exciting here for that, for them coming into this game, being up that much and possibly gaining a map lead out of the other top team in their bracket. And I know Serpents do not want to go down swinging, so I'm really excited to see what they bring into this match to be able to get a win on that board. And it does look like we have a ready out of Serpent. Let's just double check here with Neso, and we will hop right into Ilios.
Yes, our maps tonight are the top three are Ilios to start off, then we'll head to Rialto, and then we'll head to Eichenwald for map 3.
Most definitely excited for all of those maps. I know most of these games do tend to go into a 3-0, but I'm excited for a 5 map game here, and I believe the fourth and fifth map are Blizzard World and Nepal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, so I mean, I'm excited. I would love to see all 5 of those maps, but we do have the ready out of both teams, so we are going to go ahead and get into this game and get into this map.
I don't think I've gotten the chance to see Serpents in action at all during the season. I do know, um, I have seen a few people from Serpents play in season 4, Nutter, for instance, and Crossfire. Crossfire used to be a very good DPS main, if I recall correctly. Nutter, I'm not sure where he was. Neso coming into season 5, almost all of them I do not recognize. So they're new faces for me. But looks like to start off, I see Crossfire going Soldier. That does look familiar from what I've seen in season 4. Nutter and Floppy going Baptiste and Lucio. So, and they're running with a Reinhardt and Zarya combo, and we see a ball coming in from Neso. That's very unique to start off with, especially on this map. It doesn't really have a lot of places where he can grapple and kind of spin around, but we'll see how they utilize it.
Most definitely. Now we are jumping straight in. This looks like we do have a pharmacy coming out of Neso. So I wonder how Crossfire on that soldier is going to be able to handle that.
And without the Mercy damage boost on their side, it'll be hard to take Pharah down with the constant heals backing him up, so he'll have to target Mercy first if she gets out of position.
Oh, we have a little bit of Reinhardt on Reinhardt here. Looks like both Reinhardts do fall along with that Pharah.
Serpents are coming out a bit strong here to take the first cap, and they should get it, and I think they do. Actually, no, Neso had got the first cap, and then Serpents took it back. I didn't realize they got the initial first cap.
Oh yeah, that was a little sneaky.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that.
Ball just rolling his way back to that point, but unfortunately gets stunned and almost taken down by the Zarya.
Yeah, having their recruit being able to stun that ball right out of position is going to be crucial for them to at least one of their strong points out of each team fight.
And Bull with both
from Crossfire
tanks
already
down. Oh, and a support. They are going to have to back up here.
Great timing for Crossfire to pop that attack visor, waiting until Reinhardt was weakened or until his shield was broken to utilize it.
Serpent's definitely holding strong here. Does look like they decided to switch off the ball to a Zarya. We see Window coming into play, but it looks like Reinhardt's going to go ahead and move over to that left side. Nano, oh, Shatter comes into play. Reinhardt still being nanoed.
They did get the pin on Reinhardt, but he was still boosted from the nano boost, so it barely did any damage to him, but they still got the team kill on Neso. This might end in a full hold on the first map of Ilios.
It is most definitely looking like that. It seems like every single time Neso's tanks fall, then it just all falls apart. We see MG doing a very good job about that, taking out Dimples as much as he can. Sloth comes out with a high noon, does get one, and no one is able to touch that point.
Yeah, the high noon definitely kept them behind that wall, keeping them from going forward.
Ready for battle.
Everyone signed their life insurance policy.
Ah, so now we go to the lighthouse. And we do see Sim brought out. I thought we were going to see a Sim being brought out for this map, and we are going to see, and Crossfire is going to go Doomfist instead, so we'll see how well that works out for him. They're probably going to set up the microwave right inside the door, like I've seen most teams do on the lighthouse, so we'll see how it works.
And you know, having that hog on Neso's side might help with that Doomfist if he can get his hooks.
Crossfire does get two picks. They do have the microwave set up, and it's going strong.
Yeah, it is very effective.
Yeah, they do take down the turrets very quickly, though. A lot of teams tend to forget about that, but they took them down right out of the gate.
You know, as soon as they saw Dimples getting low, they just rushed in there on him and took him down, and it looks like they are just going to go ahead and back up here as Serpents take this point.
Yeah, coming into this match being 0-4, I was a little worried they weren't going to have the momentum shift to take this initially, but it seems Neso is struggling to get their momentum started on the first map and even on the lighthouse.
Big pick of Crossfire there. Their Doomfist is now down. Oh, and the hook was almost off the wall, but didn't quite make it. But Lucio does get the boot. And almost another boot, but does take out the Symmetra in the end. Dimples very low here, gets taken down.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Neso is struggling a bit to find their ground to get the push they need to get moving, but it seems like they're struggling a little bit.
You know, Serpents are holding very strong. We see Window come out. We see High Noon coming out. All of the picks here coming out of Gothic Serpent.
Triple High Noon through an amplification matrix. Even though we all call it the window or the whatever you called it. It's, I know we don't usually use Baptiste Alts as the official name. We usually call it the window.
Most definitely looks like it. We also used Shatter in sometime around in there too. So, um, you know, Neso is very, very good here on alt. Do see another high noon coming out, but you know, Immortality was up to able to keep the team alive here. We're at 94 seconds. Only a little bit more to go.
This is gonna be a full hold for Serpent, and they take round 1 on Ilios. That was a 2-0 out.
That was very beautiful gameplay coming out of Gothic Serpents. You know, like you said, being as low as they are in these past weeks, they have definitely shown that they're not out of it yet. They want to take it all.
Yeah, if I remember correctly reading, I think one of the announcements, I think all teams in tiers 3 and 4 may still enter the playoffs. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on that. But if they do, if Gothic Serpents can keep up how they're playing right now, they'll still stand a solid chance once the playoffs kick off in I think 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I think there's a bye week after week 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe there will be a week break before we move on to playoffs. But like you said, a lot of these tiers have the chance to still be in playoffs. So I know that is super exciting. And this could just be the chance that they need. Maybe they are finally getting a nice good footing and they're gonna just start rolling. So I am super excited to see this next map, which is Rialto, if I can find it here. I'm a little bit slow, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and check in and see if there's any switches coming out of Neso, and there is some switches, so let's go ahead and switch this over.
While we wait for that, though, it seems like Tier 3 does have four groups actually for Tier 3. I think that's the biggest out of all the ones that are currently active. And for Tier 3, for Group A, we have Alolan, I hope I say that right, leading Group A with a 4-1 record with 13 points. For, I guess, what, their map points, I guess, is how we determine that. In Group B, Spud Life is currently holding first place with a 4-0 record with 11 points, and Neso right behind with a 2-2 record at 10 points. So this will put them ahead if they can win tonight. Group C, we have Elk Remix sitting in first place with 3-1 with a 10 points on the board. And then for Group B, we have Hydroponic with a 2-0 lead with 6 points. So 4 different groups, and the top teams having about 10 points of each, whereas right now, as it stands, Group B looks like it's the one that can go, it could flip back and forth between the top 2 teams, where either one of them can take first place. The other ones are a little more spread out. Group C does have about the same thing. Ohana Paradise can take the lead from Elk Remix if they win their game. So we'll see how that turns out. And pretty much all of Tier 1 and 2 are kind of the same way. Each team comes down to these last 2 weeks where some teams may take first place and some may take second if some teams win and some lose.
Okay, and it looks like we have the ready out of both teams, so let's go ahead and jump into Rialto. We are definitely on the move here. These teams aren't waiting; they are ready to go. Like I said, you know, Gothic Serpents held that control point very easily. Neso had a little bit of problems there, but hopefully a payload map can change that.
Yeah, the payload maps always tend to be a bit more flexible with teams' control points. I find a lot of teams not a lot. Maybe some tend to struggle on control just because of how the game type is set up, where you just have to maintain possession. Whereas these maps, it gives them a little more flexibility with what they can run. So it should be much better on this map for the. Is it Serpent on the left? Yeah. They're on the defense and they're running the Orisa and Sigma double shield combination with a Hanzo and an Ashe. I did not expect a Hanzo and an Ashe. So we'll see how that works out. On the side of Neso, they're running with a Pharah and a Widow. So we'll see Hanzo and Widow go head to head, and we'll see Ashe and Pharah go head to head.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Looks like Zarya is the first on point, and she is moving that payload. The rest of the team is far behind.
It looks like they're holding high ground, not holding down Main Street to start off.
It looks like they're a little bit split up here. They got 3 up top, 3 down below. But if they get around this corner, oh, here we go. We see Orisa drop. Neso getting really low here. Pharah does fall. Hanzo's over here on that right side in the doorway, just trying to get her back around here.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting stuck right here at the corner, trying to break through double shields, and they're struggling a bit. Soth does take down Widow. Nice headshot.
We did see the switch off to the Pharah onto a soldier. Oh, and they were not able to get that res off, unfortunately. See, Dragon's coming into play, pushing Neso back.
If that was timed a little more to the left, that probably would have taken out at least 2 of them.
See Gravity Flux coming into play, getting a few of the players up in the air, but unfortunately they were inside that room, so couldn't get a whole lot of damage onto them.
Coalescence coming in. Bob coming in as well.
We see Shatter also.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Looks like Neso's gonna be able to get this first cap. And they do. I think the momentum is finally starting to pick up after they struggled on the first map.
Most definitely. We see several alts coming online. We've got 2 for Serpents here with the Orisa Bongos and the Window coming out of the Baptiste. And also we have Mercy's ult. So it's a lot of support there for Serpents. And then we've got several alts for Neso as well, with the whole hog and Gravity Flux again alongside another Window.
And we're seeing a lot of Baptiste tonight. Not really much others. I mean, we did have the Lucio on map 1, but we're seeing a lot of Baptiste. And that's good, because I don't usually see a lot of Baptiste gameplay.
Knock me down and I'll keep getting back up.
They do have 3 ults ready for Neso. So I think they're going to start off with that Tac Visor or Roadhog hook.
They do start off with the attack visor here, but unfortunately they were able to get behind that shield and not a whole lot of damage was put out.
Soth getting a nice double kill. Reinhardt did get a nice Earth Shatter, but was quickly dropped by the McCree. Or Cass. Sometimes I know we still call him McCree, but...
The damage boost Ashe coming out of Soth is putting down a lot of damage.
Enemies found. Preparing to engage.
Soth, I think he's waiting for the right moment to drop Bob. Probably when Reinhardt's shield goes down, that way it can't be blocked. They are taking the high ground, going up top on the building and going to drop down on the payload.
Hog pushing on the Ashe, but Ashe is able to back up here. We do have a high noon. I think he's just trying to get set up here, find the right place to do this, but there Ashe. Oh, and he takes down Ashe. Oh, and he gets taken down as well.
Nice crucial picks by Roadhog.
This is not your time.
Bob was thrown in a good spot, but they could not capitalize with Bob in that place because they had too many numbers.
Oh, Chef trying to hold Hog there, but gets taken down by Orisa. Orisa still on this point, and finally gets taken down.
Another window coming in from Neso. And they do get the second cap with 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the board. Still plenty of time to get the third and final cap.
Payload is starting to come around that first corner here. Bongos comes out to play.
Looks like they're going to make a stand right there at the door to try to hold it, but they are pushing back, giving
Oh, that was
Neso
a good pull to group them all up into that gravitative flux, but Immortality comes out to play and keeps them safe.
Very nice. Earthshatter does... Mercy does get away. Just barely. Bob placed in their back line. They gotta play the corners through the pillars to keep themselves from taking too much damage.
They get a res on that Reinhardt though. So Reinhardt is back and is on payload, trying to do some damage to the Sigma here.
Tired and another window again.
Tyre
Frostar
does
getting
get
a double.
2.
Exactly what they needed to stay in this.
Yes, and with just a couple of meters away from completing this payload, Serpent is able to take it back and get it moving.
So they only have a minute left. They can still end with a little bit of time on the board, but Serpent's giving them, making them work, definitely making them work for it. Bleh. Roto is looking for that nice hook to start off the push.
Diva is stuck in the middle here. She's able to get some heals. Pushing on that Hog now, but he takes a breather.
Reinhardt got a nice Earthshatter, but he couldn't capitalize on it.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
And we have a Hog duplicate. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to get his whole Hog out. Maybe he is.
I'm going whole hog.
And he does just seconds before he gets knocked out of it. We are now in
Frostar with another Tire
overtime.
coming in. Does get blocked and taken down by Chef. Bob coming in. This is it. Soldier holding on to it by himself, and that's going to be it. So they did prevent them from getting the third and final cap.
Score.
Very exciting. This was just like a complete turnaround from that first map. They did get it very far, so now we just have to see if Serpents can get it just as far.
Yeah, but if they win this, that'll put them at 2-0 going into the third map, which will be Eichenwald. So we'll see if they can come out with a strong push and overcome whatever Neso can throw at them.
Ready for battle.
And it looks like they're going to run with the same setup that they were running with on attack.
Going with that double shield on attack might be a little bit difficult. But you know, it worked very well on the defense, so I'm sure if any changes need to be made, then they will make those changes, um, and get this point exactly where it needs to go.
Yeah, you do have a point. Sigma and Orisa, they are more stronger on the defense for their double shield than they are on the attack because their shields aren't really mobile except for Sigma's. But we'll see how it works out.
Stop the payload.
See the big ante on the Sigma already.
Ash taking the high ground for Serpents. Does get the early pick from Soph. They already get it around the corner, about to push it past the corner. This is where they got held the first time when
Big hook
Neso was
coming
on the
out
attack.
of that hog, taking out the Reaper.
Yeah, keeping Crossfire out of the fight is going to be crucial for them. Earth Shatter
And a big
already.
shatter on point. Takes
Reinhardt
out
getting
2.
3.
Reinhardt getting
actually.
3.
4. 4-man kill by himself from that Earth Shatter.
Rush is not playing. He does not want to let this payload move.
They're gonna have to be careful of the Ashe with that Bob. They do have 3 ults already primed with a nano boost well on the way.
They're going ahead and hide from that window, letting it just run out.
We're gonna have to keep a close eye on Chef because he's gonna look for that early pick on a DPS.
Reinhardt.
Oh,
Back
but
Visor and Bob coming out at the same time.
Poor Echo does get the copy off of Reinhardt, but gets taken out before he's able to use his shatter and gets taken down. Neso doing an absolutely beautiful job on this defense.
Yeah, Serpent's definitely having a bit of a struggle now, getting the payload past this corner. Crossfire with a nice double, actually triple, 2 from the ult, 1 without the ult. And that opened the door for them. Full team kill.
And with
They're gonna
that
have to
team
put in-
kill, the payload is now moving.
They're gonna have to put up one last fight to get it to that cap. So it's not over yet. They gotta beat them one more time.
Reinhardt is able to touch point, but gets taken down, and there is the cap.
And Nutter with the environmental kill on Kamikaze.
And they're going to go ahead and push up as far as they possibly could, but now we're retreating back to that payload to get it moving. They're going to be able to make plenty of space here, with Neso being so far behind.
Looks like they are going to take high ground, keeping Hanzo on the cart to keep it moving while the rest fight above point.
Oh, the shatter is not. There it is. Shatter took a minute to connect there because of that whole hog there.
Yeah, I think that dragon was kind of in play a little bit to help them take damage, but I know it didn't get any kills for them.
And these
This should
tanks
be
are
enough
just
to get them the
moving
second
up.
cap.
Most definitely. These tanks are moving up, making enough room to let the point move.
How about a little extra?
If that'll be it. So now they just have to get it right up that ramp and in the door. They don't have to cap it completely, just barely. They got to get it to like 3 meters away
Oh,
from
and
the
that
cap.
huge hook coming out of that hog, taking down Reinhardt.
Crossfire with a quad.
He is just getting his ult left and right. He's been doing a very good job sticking with his tanks, moving them back, and honestly, I'm just having a whole lot of fun with this.
Yeah, Serpents were struggling early in the beginning, but now the momentum is insanely high, and Neso is struggling to get theirs back in gear. Here comes Bob throwing right in the back line. Earth Shatter coming in. That should open the door for them a little bit. And that'll be enough to stall this push. So now with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, they're going to have to hold them off for about 3 more strong pushes about. Maybe 3.5.
I think if they just group up, they have enough ult here online to be able to get a really good push and possibly get the point moved all the way. See Gravity Flux and Dragons coming into play.
Let them out.
And I do think this is going to be it. Serpents are going to be able to take this, and yep, they did. They done it. Puts them at a 2-0 lead right now, going into map 3.
I told you. They've got it together. They're coming in here, showing that they're not giving up. And this is an absolutely beautiful show coming out of this team to make a point.
Yeah, even though they're down 4-0 in terms of wins, they're still fighting like Scotsmen, as sometimes we like to call it when we play. 38,000 damage blocked from Rush.
Excellent.
Yes, and that beautiful 66% coming out of that Reaper. Okay.
I believe we had one person join in, Mystic Zera join in,
Yes.
towards the end.
Let's go ahead and swap sides here. Change these names over real quick.
So now that we're heading over to Eichenwald for map 3, and this will be for match point, so it could either end right here, excuse me, or what could happen is another reverse sweep for Neso, and they take it from here on out, so it can go one way or the other. And if Serpents were to take this third map and win tonight's matchup, that'll put them at 1-4 with a total of 4 map points on the board. That's still behind from Blood Moon Guardians, which are sitting at 9 map points at a 2-2 record. But that would tie them up if Blood Moon Guardians loses their next 2 games, they would end up with a 2-4. And if Gothic Serpents can win their week 6 game, that'll put them at a 2-4 record, the same as Blood Moon, even though their map points would be lower.
Okay, it looks like Serpent is going to go ahead and keep with the lineup they have, but Neso is making a few changes. So let me go ahead and make those changes now.
So far from what I've seen, Crossfire has not disappointed. He always brings his A game. I remember him a lot in Season 4. He never disappoints, and he certainly did not with that quad on Rialto, so it's good to see that brought in. Rush definitely has to be what I would consider the MVP for Neso with his Reinhardt plays. And for Serpent, it's got to go to Crossfire as always.
Most
Whenever he
definitely,
plays,
yes.
I'm kind of picking favorites on Serpent's side, but he brings it every time, and I'm always happy to see him play.
Definitely a very strong DPS as you saw on Rialto. Every single time he alted, got a lot of value out of that alt. Um, Even if it was a losing fight, still went in there, got a lot of value, and it became a winning fight. So definitely, I would have to say Crossfire is doing an absolutely beautiful job. And again, like you said with Neso Rush, his Reinhardt, he, like you said, Rialto as well, got that four-man all by himself. He was just in there swinging. He was not going to let them get around that corner. And it looks like both teams are ready, so let's go ahead and hop in to Eichenwald.
Reinhardt's home, his last stand with him and his mentor against the OR-14s and the Bastions during the Omnic War.
Initiating
A
I
lot
know
of
me and
history in this
Bree.
map.
Yeah, I know me and Psyche talked about this in the game we casted the other night, where Reinhardt joined Overwatch not long after this event took place, instead of his mentor, who was supposed to join Overwatch, but he fell in combat, and Reinhardt ended up taking his place.
ready for battle.
So we are going to see Super MG and Rush playing Reinhardt again. We have Dimples going Diva.
Attackers incoming.
Both teams running Reinhardt and Diva right out of the gate. Crossfire and Soth going Echo and McCree. And Floppy staying with Baptiste. He's been on Baptiste the whole night so far. And we have Lucio coming in. It's almost a mirror match on both sides, just like two different changes
What
for
ain't
each
broke,
side.
don't fix what ain't broke.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you guys know what I meant.
I'm overloading!
Torbjorn with 30% already, almost Kamikaze with 40%. They're right halfway to their ults already, with Floppy right behind them at 55%.
It looks like
Going
we
right
are
after the
starting
point.
this fight here on the point. Oh, and the charge on the
Early.
Reinhardt.
Early pin on Rush, that's going to give them the first tick, and that's going to be a full cap. A very early cap for, who's on what side? Serpent on the attack.
And again, they're here just pushing this team back. They're wasting no time. They're gonna just let that payload move. Oh, but unfortunately nobody is on the payload, so they're not making any advance with this payload here. We do see Window coming into play. Oh, nice sleep on that Baptiste.
Yeah, they do have a Diva sitting on cart to keep it going, but that does put them down one strong heavy tank. Torbjorn throwing Molten Core right on the payload.
The turret is able to take out that Cassidy. Looks like they are going to be able to take a stand right here and push Serpents back.
Oh no, what happened to Chef? Where'd he go?
Could that possibly be a tactical reset to change heroes, or he just, yep, there it is. Now we see the Mei coming into play. High Noon, I didn't quite catch where that was, but he was able to take out two, and here they are leaving this payload behind again. They're not too worried about moving this payload. They're just going to go ahead and try to get these team wipes and then go back and move the payload as much as they can.
Yeah, I think that was I even lost track of where they were during that whole thing. I think they went behind or up top. I lost track. Eva bomb. That's gonna get
Oh,
them. Yep, they
bomb
got both supports.
both supports. See High Noon coming out again. Does not get anybody, but Crossfire with that Blossom.
Again. He doesn't disappoint. He never has.
But you know, they only have Reinhardt's ult here coming for the next team fight, possibly a window, as Neso is sitting on 3 ults. Oh, and we do see Shatter and Nano coming into play. And another Shatter with Bomb behind. Reinhardt gets stuck in that little room, gets taken down, but so does Super.
They do finally stop their advance momentarily, but they still have 4.5 minutes left to get it the rest of the way.
Plenty of time in the bank with those fast caps there.
They will have Lucio's ult ready.
We see Window coming out.
Again. Kind of in a bad spot, I would say.
Hey, if it gets the healing to his team, that's super, super helpful right there, because not only does it amplify damage, but it amplifies the healing as well. We see Blizzard coming into play, getting 2 stuck in the Blizzard. Reinhardt does fall.
It
Bomb
doubles the
coming
healing?
out.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh, Shatter
Very
knocking
big
Diva.
Shatter.
Yeah, knocking it 3 down if I'm not mistaken. Beat comes in and now they're just gonna rush this as fast as they can. Mei while blocking 2 of them off. High Noon coming from Kazi. Doesn't take anyone down. He drops. Sloth is still sitting here with the High Noon, and he's gonna drop it right now. See if he can get anybody. Does not get anybody.
Fire coming in from Crossfire.
Just the Brig on point. Brig drops. Reinhardt finally gets that last minute touch. Reinhardt's drops.
Nope.
Diva is not quite able to make it.
Get in here.
A good push coming out of Serpents with 2 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock.
Initiating
I know I said in map 1 I was nervous for Serpents going into this match, but I'm pleasantly surprised for how it's going.
You know, with this being Reinhardt's mentor right here at the end of this payload, you can see him sitting very peacefully in his chair.
Yep, and actually he still has the medallion from the animated short in his hand that Reinhardt left for him before he went to rejoin Overwatch when they initiated recall in 0 hour.
attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
It looks like Serpents is going to go ahead and run that double shield that worked so well in Rialto.
No Bastion tonight? I'm disappointed.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I was hoping to see a Bastion at some point.
A little bit of pirate ship.
Yeah, a little bit. Even though people don't usually like Bastion, but I enjoy seeing him from time to time.
Looks like we're going to go ahead and take the long way around and go back here towards the point. But Serpent's still holding very strong.
Lamp coming out a bit early. Rush getting the fire strike on Floppy. That speed boost is really giving them the momentum here.
Mortality comes out, was not able to save the Reinhardt. He then falls. Both healers down for Neso.
Neso definitely struggling a bit to get moving.
Regen burst activated.
I mean, given the DPS that they're up against, Crossfire and Soth, I can see why they're definitely struggling to get momentum moving here.
Oh, and the wall off on the Reinhardt, but they are moving around. Oh, the pin! The pin on the Mei, but Blizzard is out. Even though
Dragons
they are
and Mei
one
ult.
down, yeah, even though they are one down, you know, Serpent still in here strong, pushing Neso back.
Yeah, this might be a full hold with 2 minutes left. If they keep this up, Neso might not get on the board.
You know, but we have several alts coming online for Neso. Immortality out, protecting him from that flux. Reinhardt's shield is down. This could be a dangerous position.
Yeah, they gotta be careful with those bongos.
We are going to have all ults online. So, I mean, with 1 minute and 26 seconds left, they definitely need to get this pushing.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna pop at least 2 to 3 ults for an initial strong push, and then possibly 1 to 2 more as emergency use only, if it comes down to it.
We have Crossfire switch to the Doomfist.
Oh no, Reinhardt's walled off, he's in trouble. Oh, full rush.
Do you see Beat coming into play? But it looks like they're going to try to back up here, try to get their Reinhardt back. We see Dragons coming out.
Lamp ends in both support, no, not both support, one support ult. Oh no, this is gonna be it. One push left if they can't get on point. This is gonna be it.
30 seconds remaining.
Neso definitely having a hard time trying to break through this double shield along with this Doomfist and Mei, because every single time Reinhardt walks through, he just walls off and takes that Reinhardt out. See, there we go. Reinhardt falls again instantly.
Oh no, yeah, that's game right there. That's literally game.
Meteor strike.
Serpents are gonna 3-0 this.
Absolutely beautiful job coming out of Serpents. This is very exciting for them. A week 5 win. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. You guys did absolutely wonderful. That beautiful double shield work here definitely kept Neso back.
Yeah, I was at a loss for words for the most part. They surprised me coming into this matchup tonight, and they left with the win on the board, knocking down the second place team in their bracket. So one more week to go before the playoffs. So we'll see what happens in week 6 for them.
Most definitely. We have more games coming up tomorrow, so don't forget to check those games out as they will be casted as well. And with that, Season 5, Week 5, Tier 3, Gothic Serpents versus Neso. Gothic Serpents taking the win 3-0. Congratulations. Absolutely beautiful jobs out there from both teams. Such a joy to watch. Like you said, you were completely surprised. So am I. I mean, they came in ready and just took it. I mean, a beautiful 3-0 coming out of this team. Um, Definitely not out of this game yet. They're showing that they can kick butt too.
Yeah, so before we go, what I will mention, our games tomorrow, I believe we have about 3 or 4 games tomorrow. I know there's a lot. I don't know how many of them are going to be casted, but we have a few tier twos, a few threes. I think it's in 1 4. So it's between tier 2, 3, and 4. Some of them are early in the afternoon, some are in the evening, about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Some are before that. So I'm not sure how many we'll be able to cast tomorrow. We'll try to get at least 2, if not 3, of those games done tomorrow, depending on who we have available. But there'll be a lot more stats to be revealed at the end of the week, which we'll try to cover in our new podcast, which we hope to start as early as next week, if not next week, the week after.
Exciting news with an exciting new podcast. I am super psyched to be able to tune into that. But with that, we are going to go ahead and say goodnight, and we love you all. Don't forget to catch us next time. I am Queenie and my wonderful co host. Thank you so much for being with me tonight, Chaos.
As always, it's always a pleasure being back.
Most definitely, and I'm excited to cast some more games with you coming up. I know playoffs will be super exciting. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Till next time.
Have a good night, everyone.